right? So you need to identify then how in the middle third do we defend, and it'll be dictated by the opposition in the numbers they have here and the numbers they have here. And as you can see, those two are going towards the ball. I think when the ball's played here, he eventually goes, and someone picks this midfielder up. So you need to make a comment of how they defend in that middle third. This is in the middle third too, but it's further back a little bit, where you've got your two banks of four. So there's a bank of four, and look where the furthest fullback is, and here's your midfielders and wingers in here, trying to do concentration in the area to win the ball back. So some things to consider here is it man-to-man marking or is it zonal marking? Play offside, which part they start the defensive block. So you go back here, go back to the last slide. When they come into the middle third, did they start it here? They didn't start it at here. And is there individual players that have negative or positive qualities that influence how the team defends? What it means by that is you might have a 9 that doesn't want to defend. So you can mention that in your presentation. Yeah, the 9 doesn't press. He lets players go past them. The 10 does the pressing. So whoever starts the actual press themselves, that's who you start. That's who you start talking about. Which is the important player that does it? Is it the 6 that organises the press? And you'll see that on the video when you start. Defensive third. This is for the other team. I've just done one here. So here's the back 4. Here's the 3 players. So in the defensive third, they've always got a back 4, and the wide player presses the widest player. Yep. So maybe a midfielder drops into these areas here. So always looks like in their defensive third with a video. Here's another one. This is further back. So there's always a back 4 in place, midfielder in front of the back 4, plus the other 2 midfielders who come back to defend the opposition attacking midfielder. So always making some comments in how they are, and the picture tells you the story. So if you can do a still picture like that one and make a comment on the next slide, that's all you really need to do with a video clip. All right, so you keep it as simple as you can. So in the defensive third, in this third, when there's pressure on the ball, so come back here. If it's played out wide, there's pressure on the ball. When the ball is played backwards or sideways, what is the reaction of the players? Do they move forward? Do they go back? Do they just stay where they are? What do they do? So when a team shift, we saw it from, I think it was Fidesz is one where they shifted from one side to the other. What did the other team do? Did they move across or did they stay where they were? Do they man mark or do they zonally defend or do they do both? Let's have a look at this picture here. So maybe in the box they might man mark, yeah, but outside the box they might zonally defend. Right, so you need to make a comment in regard to what they do. And then what is the role of the midfielders and the strikers? So because remember, it's in the defensive third, so what are they doing? Where are they? What are they going to do? Do they just stand there and watch? Do they drop back? Do they stay high to keep the defenders high so that the other defenders don't join the attack? So just a summary of the considerations. What's the cooperation between the attackers, midfielders and defenders? Are they compact? Yeah, are they together? Is there width between the lines? Are the lines compact? How far back do they come? So is there high or low pressure? Is it aggressive pressuring or is it passive where they just drop off and let the other team play in front of them? The other part is, where does the pressure start? Where does it happen? Is it in their half or the opponent's half? Where do they actually press to win the ball back? So we like pressing in the high. It might be a team likes to press in the middle part of the park. So you need to identify that when you do the analysis. You can have a look at the formation of how they are. Do they do 2 blocks of 4? Do they have 3 at the back? Do they have 5 at the back? How does that work? When is the 5 there? When's the 3 there? Where do they start the defensive block? Is it just a general? Start the defensive block. Is there individual players that have negative or positive qualities that influence the defending? In this third, when is the pressure on the ball? So is the pressure on the ball when someone's facing the wrong way? Do they move forward? Do they move backwards? Do they move sideways? Is it man marking? Is it both? Is it group defending? Do they work together as a whole group? Yeah. And what's the role of the midfielders and the strikers? What's their role? Do they let the players go past them? Do they run with them? Do they come back and help in the defence, in the back third when it happens, and not worry about staying in their position? So they're the sort of things that you need to think about when you're doing your presentation. The biggest thing for today is having these still pictures and showing the positioning of the players. The picture says 1,000 words. So if you can stop the video and take the picture and circle the players involved, then do a summary, so you can do the same, then do a summary, that will tell you the thing. So you won't have as many slides. So here's a defending third. So if I was doing this presentation, I'd have these 2 slides of the defending third. This is how they set up. This is when the ball is played out, and make a summary. That means in the defending third, I've only got 3 slides, right? Or I might do that one and do this one as a clip and that one as a summary. So in the defending third, instead of having 6 slides, I've only got 3 slides. In the end, you probably end up with 9 slides or 10 slides. That's all you need with a summary. The summary, the only thing I found was try not to be general in what you say. Really be specific in, I think the Japan one was quite good in regard being really specific in what they were trying to prove. They had the picture in the side, then they had the words beside it of the numbers that were involved, who were the players involved and what were the actions. And I think if you have those, plus the slide, plus the video, you're going to be a bit more precise in what you're doing. What was presented today was really good. All 4 of you, four groups, you had the pictures. I think the words could have been a little bit less, and you didn't need as many clips. You just need the actual clip itself of what you want. And remember, whether they play out from the front or not, always do the thirds, because the coach that you're presenting to needs to see what the other team did, so he can, what influenced those strikers, for instance, in this picture, what influenced those strikers to stand there, and that's because the centre backs are standing here. You need to make those comments. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Any questions?